welcome back to my channel. My name is Sekai Tigero. If you're new here, welcome. So the video that I'm doing today is a collaboration with WorthGold for the WorthGold Women's Month Daily Chat Series by Alexis. And I would just like to thank Shaima Moema for this opportunity and Chelsea Dagama for the recommendation. So today I'm going to talk about motherhood and my experience being a young mom. So I was thinking, like, should I do like a Q&A or just chat? And because I like telling stories, let's chat. So I'm just going to do like subheadings and then just say stuff about every subheading that I talk, and just like a timeline, right? So obviously the first experience is being pregnant. So I was pregnant when I was 20. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to talk about my experience being a young mom. And I was in school, like at university. So I'm going to talk about like dealing with pregnancy and school. So it wasn't really like, okay, somebody told me I like saying, so now I see it. Oh my God, I can hear myself. But let's go back to the story. So, so I was in school and I was doing molecular biology. And well, for me, the experience with dealing with school and pregnancy wasn't really hard. I think people outside me saw it hard for me. Like, I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, you know, sometimes people will just be like, oh my God, like maybe you should drop it. You're doing chemistry. Maybe you should drop out, then you continue later. And some people actually thought I stopped school for some time, but I didn't. I just used to go to class. And then I had these classes that were like 3 classes in a row. And I just told my brain that I can't attend these 3 classes. I'll be getting tired. But then so I would either miss the first class or the last class in that row. And I would just like to thank my friends Rema and Bao, because they were really there for me through that whole time. They would like send notes for me if I miss class, or even just write the notes for me, and they just really supported me through that time. The other funny incident being pregnant while in school was that because I was like, I'm a molecular biologist and I used to have a lot of lab sessions. So like my lab coats kept getting smaller. Like I had this tight slim fit lab coat, and then my friend had a bigger lab coat. So when I couldn't fit my lab coat, we switched. I started wearing hers, but then that one also got small. And then my lecturer, he's late now, man, he's always busy. He was like, Sekai, like your lab coats keep, like why can't your lab coat close? Because you know it's a rule, like your lab coat, the buttons are supposed to be closed like the whole way, but then like the buttons are just ending here, and then like I couldn't close the button. And then I was tired of buying new lab coats, so I just said, hey, like that's the thing, you keep getting bigger every day. Yeah, but then, and then like the other issue is like the school that I went to, we don't have like enough lab stools for every student, and there would be days where like my whole crew, we don't have a lab stool, and then I'll just have to stand throughout the lab. It wasn't so hard though. Then the other issue I had was like I needed to go for antenatal classes, and some of those antenatal classes were clashing with my classes at school. I think the biggest one was because for labs, like labs are part of your assessment, and there's one lab that I just couldn't attend, so I needed to attend a lab with other students because I couldn't do that lab because I also needed to go for a checkup. Yeah, what else? I think with school that was, and then the other thing was that I used to like dress up, because I don't know, because that was that student thing, so I just used to like look good with pregnancy, wear makeup and everything. And then the other issue was the first trimester was a little bit hard because I used to vomit like every day. But I just thank God that I had a very good support system. Then towards like when I just finished my semester, is the same time my semester was finishing at the same time as my due date, so that was a little bit tricky, because we had like 2 weeks of study break and my due date was in the 2 weeks of study break. So I was really hoping I would give birth like in the first week, so that I have 1 week and then come and write my exams. But I actually had my baby like the last Friday of the study break. So Friday is when I had the baby. So now before should I talk about this first or because I want to talk about my birth experience, then I'll tell you about how I wrote my exams immediately after that. But yeah, so let's talk about the birthing experience. So it was a lot of, first of all, let's talk about buying stuff. Yeah, so I bought a lot of unnecessary things first of all, because I was just like, this is so cute, this is so cute, this is so, everything was cute. So I bought a lot of unnecessary things. Then there was also, I thought you could the hospital that I went to, I thought you could go to that hospital and then just book a room, they will have it there the day you come. But then they were like, you can't reserve a room because we don't know exactly when the baby is going to come, so you can't book a room. So you have to pay. So that's high cost. So with high cost, you can pay for a room where you're just alone, and then yeah. But and then there's low cost where there's just everybody, just normal ones. So the day that I went into labor, which is another funny story. The day that I went into labor, let's talk about that. I didn't go, I thought it would be I read about these things. I used to read a lot. I read I had an idea of everything, everywhere, anything that could happen, the different types of ways that labor would start. And then for me, I had premature rupture of membranes, which I had already read about. So on the last day, we had some lab reports that we needed to do and hand in on Monday. And I was doing my final lab report. Then I just sat there and I was like, let me rest a bit. Then my daughter has okay, the day has come. So that was 5 days after my due date. Then we went to the hospital and I found a very rude doctor first, but then she was knocking off. So thank God. So, yeah, but then nicer people came. Then I couldn't book a room because all the rooms were filled. So I had to go to low cost, which worked out better for me because I just realized was I going to manage sitting alone in a room? Me, who was I going to talk to? I like talking, so I went to the normal one and I made friends with everyone. It was fun. We're just chatting about everything, the stuff that we read, the experiences that we're going through, and everybody was just going through different experiences. For me, I had premature rupture of membranes. There's another lady who her contractions were coming and going, that was happening for days, and it was just fun. We made a crew. So it was fun just talking to everybody. I remember I kept on calling home bring water, and then that water was just for distributing with my friends, and it was fun. And then there was confusion. Everyone was just your brother came. I'll be no, that's my husband. Then your husband came. They really look alike. I'm do they? No, they don't really look alike. But it was it was a lot of fun. And then the day that I needed to deliver, the low cost birthing areas were actually filled. So I still went to the high cost side of birthing, of giving birth. Yeah, and then it for me, I feel when the contractions now started, and I was oh my God, I don't even know if I'm going to give birth today because people say it's going to be painful, and I'm waiting for that pain that they talk about. So I felt I haven't yet reached. So I'm just I can't wait for that pain to come. But then that pain, the pain didn't come, and I didn't get yeah. So then the first person to hold the baby was actually my brother, because after I gave birth to the baby, I had to bath before I even get the baby. Then my brother had to bring some tea for me in the morning, and no one knew yet that the baby was born. So when he came, your sisters, because those guys were coming a lot. My husband and my brother were coming every hour, I think. So everyone just was your sister has a baby, Shani. Here's the baby, and he was just yeah. So yeah, he was the first person to carry Gita, and then my husband came as well. And when he came, I had gotten the baby, and they were visiting hours over and stuff. But then at least they allowed him to come in, and he was so happy. He was singing for her, and he went to buy her stuff, more stuff. He's I need to get stuff for the baby. So that was my birthing experience, and then also my pregnancy experience. And then I gave birth on a Friday. Then Monday I had an exam, and Tuesday as well. So it was just like I got home and I had to like take care of the baby, read. So I remember like my bed used to look so funny because I had books, diapers, clothes, like everything. It's like be a mom and be a student at the same time. But thank God I passed my exams and I graduated 3 years later. 2 years later, something like that. But anyway, I graduated. I passed. I was so worried. Like I remember when the results came out, I was away, and like people just started calling, like, you know that thing whereby you like the list comes out of people who have passed and whatnot, and then you'll be like, okay, some of the people that you think have passed haven't passed. Like a lot of people have failed this year, and you're just like, eh. And me was like missing class. I didn't hand in my final lab, but then thank God I managed to pass and I finished school on time. Then what other experience are we talking about? Like now being a mom to like a newborn baby. That one, I thank God again for everybody around me. I remember the first day I went to write my exam on Monday, my aunt Tamuzai, shout out to you, she came to help me out with the baby. And then there are these things I read, I'm just like, no, my baby is not even going to have formula. And I read about how like the feeding bottle was not good for the baby. I'm going to be feeding my baby using a cup. You guys, tell now. I'm going to be pumping milk instead of like using formula. Monday came, pump the milk, where is it? It's not coming. try the milk was not coming. Like now it was an emergency because I had to go and write my exams. So like just then we just had to start mixed feeding. That's how mixed feeding started, because I needed to go and write my exam for like, my exams were 3 hours. Then we add the time that I needed to go to school, come back. So that was like, I was going to be away for 5 hours and the baby needed to feed. So that's how that idea of like, no formula, I'll be using a cup. Yeah, everything was just like, it's not going to work, my dear. It's not going to work. Yeah. Then I wrote that exam, I passed it. And then what else? Then like the first few days, the baby was just like sleeping, calm down and everything. Then the crying started. The crying started on the day I was writing the most difficult paper, and I just barely even passed that. So the baby cried the whole night. I even gave up. I said, I'm not even going to study, it's fine. You know, like you can't even read because your mind will just be like thinking about the baby. And then she used to, like, she cried so much, like every night she would cry from like continuously, like everybody just knew her as the baby who cries. She would start crying at like 21 non-stop up to 5. Then because we named her Gita, I said no, she doesn't like her name, like, you know, these myths. No, she doesn't like her name. Others were saying, no, because you named her Gita, which is like a banjo. So it was just like everyone just had their own theory about her crying. She used to cry like all night. Like it was that even when I'm like trying to wash her clothes, I would like wash, and then she cries. Then I get her. Then rinse. Just like you can't like wash clothes like the whole time or cook something the whole time. No, it's a lie. She would just cry somewhere in between. But it was an amazing experience, I think, for me, because of the support that I had. I had just amazing support from my family, from my husband's family. I just had like, the support was just tremendous. So it was amazing, and people brought me like really cute gifts. So it was nice to just dress the baby up and all those kinds of things. So yeah, that's my experience there. If you would like me to do another video talking about this, or to just, if you've got questions or you want me to say more stuff, then yeah, you can ask. But I think that's it for now. Yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to share this video, like, subscribe, and check out the other chats that the WorthGold is running during this month of August. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.